Emotion.
Alright, I figure you probably had enough of that. Sound check. Anybody listening? Anybody alive? Let me know. As you can see, I have two cameras hooked up for this one. Okay. Sounds good? Good. Tonight's going to be fun. Well, fun. I say fun, but I don't necessarily mean it. It's going to be long, that's for sure, so hope you can stick around. I have to pull up the stream on the old cellular telephone here. There you are. So that I can see the chat while this is all going on. Sup, hello? Hey, friends. Hi, friends. Friends. Whatever you want to call yourselves. Okay, I have boxes. I don't know if you can tell that I have boxes, but I have a lot of boxes, and it's kind of a problem. So, I need to get some boxes unpacked first here. Oh, God. What is that? That's not even supposed to be there. Yep. Here's a box. I'm willing to bet this just has keyboards in it, but it may have other stuff. I don't know. There's a bunch of shipments here, and they're all big and bulky and annoying. Oh, God. And have air pocket. Look at this. Oh, yeah. We call these air pocket things monkey breath over here. And it looks like it is keyboards. It's just the keyboards. Yep, it's just the keyboards. Oh. So let's get those out of here, because we don't care. I need no stinking keyboard. No keyboard. Okay, this is fucking heavy. Alright. It's a bit more like it. Friggin' heavy box. Okay. These are probably the NUCs. I don't care if people pronounce it NUC. Whatever, I call them NUCs, because I like to say nuke. I like to see how many times I can say it before they kick me off the airplane. Intel NUC. Intel NUC. Intel NUC. Now, there is a problem. I'm seeing a problem. Hang on. Yeah, you dirty bastard. That was not just the keyboards. The RAM and solid-state drives were in there too, which just figures. Oh, this is going to be fun. All right. So, let's, maybe I should put the big widescreen lens on this bad boy, because we're dealing in some close quarters here. Let me go grab that other lens. Okay, I don't know if you're, if you can see the other camera right now. You will probably notice that is not doing too well. The angle's pretty bad. So what we're going to have to do here is change this lens out, because this is just too tight for what we're trying to do here. You guys need to be able to see this one's got a pretty wide lens, but this one doesn't right now. So let's yoink. Yeah, look at that. No lens at all. I love it. All right, come on. There you go. That's better. That is so much better. All right. Let's adjust a bit here. Sorry. Oh, that explains a lot, actually. I didn't check this camera before I just kind of rolled with it. Yeah, this is rather obnoxious. There we go. I need you to not be in P mode. There you go. That is much better. Okay. That is much better. Alright, I hope you all can see all that. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, sorry about the technical difficulties. This stuff looks pretty expensive, you say. Ha ha ha! You're kind of right. It actually isn't as expensive as you might think. Let me pull up the price real quick. Hold on. Where are you? Where on earth is that invoice? Here it is. Okay. These three Intel NUCs with Core i3 processors, 500 gig drives, and 16 gig memory sticks, plus 3 keyboard mouse combos, totals up, at least as I ordered them, $1,130 United States dollars. That includes the keyboards and mice, and the monitors too, in fact, now that I'm thinking about it. There are 3 monitors over there that you can't see. So, whatever 1130 divided by 3 is, I'm going to venture a guess that that's something to the tune of $370 a piece. It's a lot cheaper than you'd think for one machine with a monitor and keyboard and mouse. Of course, these don't come with Windows or anything else. They're bare bones kits. So, there's that little technical pain in the butt that we have to deal with. But anyway, yeah, 1,000. Actually, you know what? I might have told you wrong. Hold on. I didn't get more than one invoice, did I? Okay, yeah, I lied. I lied hard. There is more than one invoice because they split it. Whenever they have multiple packages, they like to split it up. So this package with the 3 NUCs is $1,136.03. They were basically $350 a pop plus tax and shipping. Then in the other package, the monitors were $120 a pop. The keyboard mouse combos, wired of course, because wireless is stupid. The keyboard mouse combos were $20 each. The 500 gig NVMe PCIe solid states, these bad boys here, were $38 each, and the Corsair Vengeance blah 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 16 gig sticks were $42 each. So if we do a little math, 42 plus 38 is 80. No, it's 90. It's 90, of course. I'm an idiot. Actually, it's 80. Yeah. 42 plus 38 is 80. And ignore the monitors, keyboards, and mice, plus $350. So $430 plus tax and shipping. If you want to do a ballpark on that, I'd say it's roughly, I don't know. Let's just call it $500 a machine and leave it at that. A NUC is an next unit of computing. It's a silly name, that Intel gives their mini PCs. I don't... Intel fancies themselves some kind of amazing company with groundbreaking products, when really what an Intel NUC is a little computer. This is just a little computer. It also just occurred to me, this thing's actually a lot darker than it's supposed to be. I'm so sorry. I didn't notice. I apologize. That is much better. And the focus probably needs to be checked too. That is also much better. Sorry about that. Let's get these cameras flip-flopped again so you can actually see what's going on. In fact, now that I'm looking at it, yeah, that might be a problem. Let me make a change here real quick. Alright, there. Now it's in the bottom left instead of the bottom right, so you can actually see. Okay, so an Intel NUC. Let's just talk really quickly for those of you who don't know anything about these crazy-looking machines. What we have going on here... Oh, you're dark too, aren't you? Damn it. Did I do something wrong? Yeah, this light's not on. That didn't help. Okay. I'm just going to crank this up. It's also not daytime. So, there's that. That's beautiful. Okay. Everybody can see fine now, right? Good. Alright. This is a bare bone PC. It's held together with 4 screws. I know, 4 whole screws. It's astonishing how complicated and nuanced this crap is. It has USB ports. This is actually, I think there's, yeah, that's the power button. SD card slot, 2 USB 3s there, a Thunderbolt there, Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet. It also has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, full-size HDMI right there, and it takes an AC adapter, a power brick, if you will. All right. Now, underneath it in the box, we have these screws are for the bracket. I'll show you that in a minute. This is a post for probably an M2 something or another that I won't need. An AC adapter that I absolutely will want to use, I think. Hang on. I think it's a standard 19 volt though. Yep, standard 19 volt. Has the same end as the one that's actually hiding right here, I believe. Come on, you don't be shy. Get out of there. Okay. Yeah, so just yeah, those are basically the same. So if you can see that, they're basically the same. So we'll just use my adapter and not use this one. Okay. I'll repack that. Make my life a little easier. Okay, and underneath it we have a bunch of manuals no one cares about because nobody reads this crap. It's not even needed. But this is the crown jewel. This is why I purchase Intel NUC computers in the first place. This right here, this is a mounting bracket. This is a VESA mounting bracket that you attach to the screws on the back of your monitor, and then those other screws, well, they go on the back of the NUC. So you've got this on your monitor, and then you got this on your, you got your NUC set up on that, and it just locks down like that on the back of your monitor. So you can make your own all-in-one PC, so to speak, with this. Pair it with a nice short HDMI cable, and you've got a compact PC that takes away some of the drawbacks of the all-in-one PC. Anyway, I am going to mount this on its bracket at some point. Not today. We're not doing that today. So, for now, all the crud goes back in the box. And we'll just, actually, I think no, it went that way. I really don't care because when I take it to the lady, I'm just going to plug it all up into a monitor anyway, so it doesn't really matter. There we go. So we'll just stuff this back for now. You can close now, Mr. Box. I will permit it. Alright. Box out the way. So, let's get started with this. These things are super easy to build. If you've never built one, well, you don't know what you're missing out on. Not much, because they're easy. They're very, very easy. Can you connect multiple monitors? Yeah, if you've got Thunderbolt. But no, it only has one HDMI, so no, it's not exactly made to... This is not a gaming desktop. It is not what you get if you want... Well, I mean, if you've got a Thunderbolt monitor or a USB monitor, you could, but of course there are drawbacks to at least the USB one. I don't know about Thunderbolt because I don't use Thunderbolt. But, yeah. I mean, this is not designed to be some kind of high-end, crazy, fancy computer. It's designed to be an embedded PC. It's not the kind of thing that you're going to be attaching 3 monitors to, and, you know, it's supposed to be a small, low-power computer that you can pretty much tuck anywhere. Now, this one is a tall NUC, so that's actually gotten a little too bright now, hasn't it? So the features of a tall NUC are that it has, the main thing that makes it different is it's a little taller, and it has room for a SATA drive here. A short NUC still has the SATA header, but it doesn't have room for a SATA drive. So where you're going to put it? That's your problem, buddy. I also, yep, okay, it does have the M2 screw. It's got room in there for an M2 here, M2 SSD, 2 RAM slots, a front panel header for some weird reason. I'm not... You can actually buy just the board for these, too. That looks like a reset jumper. Anyway, I've never actually looked at these in any depth. So the bottom line is it's got an M2 slot, 2 RAM slots, and a SATA drive slot. So if you get these taller ones, you can stuff a couple of SSDs in there and feel really cool. But we're not doing that. We're just sticking 1 stick of RAM, 1 SSD, and calling it a day. I'm going to tell you right now, if you saw the machines that these are replacing, you'd be like, wow, that's a little overpowered. Why is that so overpowered for its application? Wow. These are actually going in a tax firm's office that is a little out of date. And by a little out of date, what I really mean to say is that they're still running Windows 7 on everything. So, yeah. They're finally to the point that IRS requirements no longer allow you to run Windows 7. It's been out of support for 3 years now, which is totally fine by me, but when you're dealing with accounting stuff, that's one of those strict security sort of deals. If someone were to breach these people's place, they would get hundreds and hundreds of social security numbers, addresses, names, relationships, children's social security numbers. Pretty much a disaster. So, yeah, they have to keep up with Windows 10, unfortunately. It's sad. The hardware is fine, it's just they can't run Windows 10 anymore, or 7 anymore. Which makes me so sad. Where's the fan? The fan is underneath, actually. There is, if you look here, there's a duct, like a vent right here. There's a CPU fan here in the top. You notice the board's actually mid-mounted. The fan is on top of the board if you're looking at it from the actual top of the unit. The fan's on top of the board, and then we're actually looking at the back or bottom of the board here. So you've got the cooling fan here. The thing is, the other components, they don't generate as much heat as the processor, so they don't really need any like active cooling anyway. Okay. This is really complicated stuff. I'm also lying. This is not really complicated at all. You know, I think I actually liked the camera in the bottom right corner after all. Hang on. I'm going to move it over. There you go. Yeah, I prefer that. If you have a camera preference, let me know. Oh, by the way, you say it's okay if they don't use internet, but the problem is that when you file taxes for people, you have to use the internet. because you want to e-file and get an acceptance from the IRS as fast as possible. You want to know that the return was accepted before you go handing the customer money. If you, an e-file is, I mean, it's the fastest, cheapest, whatever way to get this stuff done. So you really just want to go ahead and do it over the internet. So no, unfortunately, I understand your sentiment, and I even agree with it, but unfortunately, that's not the case. They really kind of have to e-file. So, yeah. This thing says front. I'm glad it has a little guide that tells me that the front needs to be up there so that I don't screw it in wrong. Alright. Did you even catch me screwing down that solid state drive? Probably not. I don't think anybody really noticed. Anywho. I should get another desktop tripod, or maybe next time I should put this camera up higher on the traditional normal size tripod. I know this is not the best setup, but you know, we'll deal. The main reason that I have it set up this way is because when I start doing things, we're going to need to look at this monitor. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, no, let's not do that. Okay. I had an idea. It wasn't a good idea, so I'm going to go ahead and take off the vinyl. I hate vinyl. I can't stand this stuff. It's gross. Yep. I don't like it. I don't like it. Yep. The live stream stuff is actually on my computer in the back. So, let's see. YouTube keeps sending me nasty messages saying that the stream's bitrate's too low. The bitrate's too low because I ignored all the advice that every OBS streaming setup guide online ever tells you. They all say not to use CRF or constant rate factor for your encoding because then the bitrate is not stable. But the truth of the matter is, unless you have very high motion content, CRF will result in a vastly higher quality at a lower bitrate. So, no. I do what I want. Man, that's a real big heavy computer. I don't know about this. Okay. Let's turn this on. Not make the mistake I made last time. Let me get this camera to where you can see the monitor, hopefully. That big goofy thing. Great. Yeah, okay. Of course there's going to be a big glowing light right there. That just absolutely figures, doesn't it? Okay, whatever. Gee, I wonder if there's no signal. We will probably need to do something a little differently here. Specifically, this camera setup is not working very well. I'm thinking maybe... Yeah, I don't really want to change camera setups right now, but I don't know, man. This is not working very well. So let me know what you think in the live chat about how terrible my camera setup is right now. I sort of threw the second camera in. I didn't have much time to try things out, so here we are. And you didn't try it out, hell. Alright, turn it on. Look at that blue light. Listen to that whiz. That whoosh. Let's get this over here. Maybe we can get this here. Maybe I can move my phone out of the way. I don't know. Put it over there. Well, did I plug that wire in all the way? I think so. Yeah. Well, you can post. I'd love it. You know what? Maybe I should turn off this upper light so that you can see the monitor. Turn it down at least. Yeah, that might work. When the thing actually comes up, there it goes. There it goes. Okay. All right. Let's yeah, this is not ideal, but whatever. A bootable device has not been detected. There's a good reason for that. And 3 bad ones, but no. We need a network cable. Let me flip the camera around too. That would probably be nice. Yeah, there we go. All right. I know you can't see the text very well. I'm sorry. I do have this streaming at 1440p. So if you're having any trouble, feel free to up the quality on what you're seeing. I'm going to go get a keyboard. I'll be right back. My kingdom for a keyboard that doesn't suck. You know, if I were to have like a list of keyboard choices, this cheapo Microsoft wired keyboard would probably be somewhere between the middle and near the end of the list. I'm not too happy about this. Anyway, plug it in. Where's my little bunny drive? I have no idea. It's probably buried under this computer I didn't finish earlier. Where did it go? Actually, I am kind of curious now. Where did I hide that from myself? I'm having an organizational crisis. Here, listen to the screaming goat as he screams for you. Be right back. Oh, yeah, I do actually have a fancy keyboard. Thanks for reminding me, because it's literally right there. Here, let me exchange this trash fire for something I will regret later, but will enjoy the whole time that I regret it. That might sound paradoxical, but it's not. Yeah, okay, I didn't mean to knock that down. And maybe we revisit that later. Here is my other Razer Ornata V2 mechanical keyboard. The one that still has a spacebar keycap that I haven't worn the paint off of yet. It's a bit dusty, but it's a hell of a lot better than that Microsoft keyboard for sure. It'll sound cooler on stream too. Thank you for asking, Interdimensional Lizard. You're cool when you're not out of phase with reality. There we go. That's better. Where's my damn props? There you go. Okay. I feel better already. Do I really even need this light? I don't know, but I don't feel like turning it off, so to hell with it. Okay, yeah, I know a bootable device has not been detected. I do see something I don't like on the monitor already. I see little red speckles. That makes me wonder if it's just some kind of hardware glitch or if there's actually a problem. But no matter. Where's my flash drive? Damn it! I have no idea where I have lost my flash drive. There is such a mess in here that if I ever find it, it'll be a miracle. So, yeah, this presents a bit of a problem. And all of my other flash drives are outside. rotting. So, what am I going to do? What a pain. Okay. I'll be right back. Just give me a minute. I'll be back. Okay. Let's try this again. I have been forced to go out and get the heavy artillery, the big guns, if you will. This wonderful waterproof case, full of wonderful waterproof flash drives. I'm lying about the waterproof part. Unless they're in the case, in which case I'm not. Okay. Detect a bootable device, sir. Damn. My glasses are dirty. Okay. Come on. Show me something. Oh, shit. Yeah. Look at all that red. That's not supposed to be like that. Ooh. Okay. So, we already have a problem. Haven't even gotten that far. Already got a problem. Is it a memory stick problem? Is it bad contact? Is it a bad computer, which would be really bad for me? Because then I have to deal with the return procedure, which sucks really, really hard. I don't know yet. But yeah. Yeah, check cable, it's HDMI. It's HDMI and it was working just fine on the other machine. So what I'm going to do before I do anything else is yank this memory stick, put it in the other slot. Yeah, and this time I am not going to close up this machine before we turn it on, and we're probably going to do some kind of testing. Don't you piss me off today, son. It just occurred to me, too, though, that it could be because I have a 25-foot HDMI cable coiled up and this AC adapter on top of it. So it could just be interference. Because I'm a dickhead. Genius. Genius. Yeah, just put this dirty AC adapter right on top of a coil of HDMI cable. And then go, gee, I don't know why there's speckles all over the screen. Wonder if it's because I made a friggin' inductor out of my video cable and then put a power supply I know supplies crappy power right on top of it. I'm so smart. Ooh. I think it came on and went off. Nope. It's up and I still see red speckles. So let's do something real quick. Yeah, I don't care about your dumb secure boot. I need to get into setup. I'm gonna assume that that it is what I think it is. I need to unplug the power to one of the cameras to test it though. So hang on. Yeah, all that red fuzzy stuff. Is it this camera? No, it's not the camera. Is it the cable? Is it something on the board? Is it? Well, tapping it doesn't affect it. But those red speckles, man, that's not supposed to be like that. So, is it this thing? It could be this thing. It could be any number of things causing some kind of interference. Is this keyboard? Is it, you know, there's all kinds of possibilities. None of them are good. Alright. Is this flash drive somehow? No, there's still speckles. I still see the speckles. So let's pull the keyboard. Let's pull the network card. Can't pull the HDMI cable, but those speckles really ought not to be there. I don't like it. I don't like it. I really don't like it. But it doesn't seem to be affecting the computer. So I'm at a bit of a crossroads on this. I don't know exactly where those speckles are coming from, but I have theories that it could be EMI of some sort. So anyway, I mean, it could be my phone for all I know, but it's not. This is really friggin' annoying. This is a brand new monitor, and on the last computers, the bench builds that we did earlier tonight, I had no problems of this sort. So I am extremely hesitant to diagnose my monitor as being defective when I have seen it not do this with other things. I am strongly inclined towards the cable. Possibly the NUC is even making some kind of interference that is picked up by the cable. Because when you coil up a wire like this, it doesn't tend to work out very well for you. Just saying. Anyway, I am going to roll with it and see what happens. Maybe I can run mem test, and if there is a problem, I'll find out. Because mem test will fail if there's a problem. So let me get this thing tied up. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know. I don't think any of you can see the speckles that I'm seeing. But they're definitely there. And it's definitely not right. But it could just be the environment. And I don't want to find out that it's just the environment. And let's see. Let me get you up and closing. You can see that, can't you? You can see those little red speckles all over the place. Yeah. Yeah. It's ridiculous, but them's the ropes. Here, let me get you closer to the monitor so you can see a little better. There you go. Maybe we can move it over a bit so that that's not in the way. Yeah. That'll be good enough. Okay. All right, let's actually try to get something done. First of all, secure boot needs to go. It's not under there, though, dummy. Secure boot. Disable. That's weird. Why is it doing that? Okay. Storage. Loud storage. Onboard devices. I'm probably not going to mess around too much with this stuff. Video. Is this? I don't think any of this matters. Cooling. You know what? I don't care. All I need is for the thing to work. Yeah, okay. I mean, it detects everything okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to save and exit, and then we're going to try to boot it. F12 should bring up a boot menu. I would queue up the Pink Floyd if it weren't for the fact that stupid YouTube is going to get all copyright strikey on me if I do such a thing. Which is dumb, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, F12 did not bring up a boot menu. Maybe it's F10. I always forget. There are so many... Maybe it's F8, actually. There's so many possibilities. It shows up in the corner. It looks like F8 is it. Alright, there we go. I actually need to update this drive anyway, so maybe it's a good thing that I was forced to bring it in. There we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, that needs... Yeah. That's several versions behind. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's... Yeah. This definitely needs updating. Windows 11, you don't need to run Windows 11, man. I just noticed Cord Oliver. I can't tell from here. I'm sorry. You don't need Windows 11. Your problem is thinking that you have to get a new PC because it won't run Windows 11. But the truth is, Windows 10 is supported for a while yet. And it's not like it stops working just because it stops being supported by Microsoft. Oh man, I got something on my glasses. I don't know what's going on. Alright. Okay, so we are in the Tritech service system. Let me see if I can load a video driver. That might have been a mistake. I don't know, man. Can you make that out? Can you read that at all? Like, is that good enough? Or it looks awful on there to me, but maybe it doesn't look so bad to you. I don't know. Yeah. What if we kill some of these lights? Get that glare to go away. Maybe even kill this. Alright. I don't know. That looks better. That does look better. How about that? I know it's really dark. What do you think? Tell me what you think in the chat. I want to know what you think. That will probably work. This is actually pretty cool, isn't it? Oh yeah, it is sensual, isn't it? Maybe I should play some Copyright Strike. Or how about some Copyright Strike? I was even thinking that perhaps on this stream I could get some demonetization Copyright Strike blocked in all countries on legal grounds. Alright. So, I'm not seeing the red speckles anymore. This leads me to believe that whatever the problem is, it's not actually a problem. Let's just pretend like everything is okay. So this is the Tritech service system, which is really just my embedded Linux system. One of the most notable things about it, honestly, is the init script thing. That I wrote the entire init system entirely in shell scripts. And it's all free. If you go to github.com, github.com/Jody Bruchon/Tritech Utils, or jodybruchon.com/software, and I think it's Tritech service system, but I can't remember. Anyway, blah blah blah. So let me show you what I can do with this. Just a little quick tour here. Sysinfo. I'm not going to use the networked part of the system. Okay. Sysinfo-V goes in and retrieves more crap. So there's, I guess it would be kind of hard for you to read it all the way up there, wouldn't it? I'll bring it down. There you go. So we have a... Come on. I'm going to get this camera right one of these years, man. One of these years. Just give me a little time. Yeah. So it shows me that we have a 10th gen i3 ultra low voltage chip, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gigabyte NVMe, blah blah blah, with all the numbers and the graphics and the BIOS state and the version and blah blah blah. And if I get really bored, I can use DMID code to get more information than I want. So we're just going to pretend like that's nothing for now. TT_FS info. You see we got smart data isn't supported on some flash-based USB drives, so that's why it's throwing these little smart warnings. SELE meaning error log entries, but that's actually a bug of mine that I just ignore because SAT means USB, what is it, SCSI attached transport? It's some weird USB thing. So NVMe ON1 is our 500 gigabyte Kingston NVMe drive. Now here, this is the Tritech service system. This is the beauty. This is probably the main feature. I use it for image drop, TT_image drop. Now, I don't distribute the images, but I'm thinking about a way that I might be able to do that. I can't put them on my website because then I'm basically distributing copies of Windows. So we're not doing that, but I'm going to do an image drop. And it defaults to NVMe ON1 because it's a non-removable blah, blah, blah. You know, the USB flash drive is a USB drive, and it knows that. So it sees this is internal, defaults to that, so I don't even have to think about it. Just hit enter. And then I have a few images to pick from. I actually culled most of the images into an archive recently. So I only have a few 10s, a couple of 7s, and an XP Pro Corporate to pick from. Notably absent is Windows 11, because fuck Windows 11. So on this, we're going to do Windows 10 UEFI, because this won't boot the old way. UEFI 22H2 Pro 64 Full, image number 6. Now, this installs Windows 10. It installs a few base drivers that I include just so that things will boot and work. But it also installs 7-zip, Adobe Reader, continue to think here, 7-zip, Adobe Reader, CD Burner XP, FFD Show, MPCHC, the media player, IrfanView plugins, IrfanView 8BF plugins, Firefox, Thunderbird, Ultra VNC. It's just a big pile of software. Now, I want you to remember that. What you're about to see, I want you to remember all that crap that gets installed by this. There's a reason for that, let me assure you. Because this. Time it for me, buddy. Oh, it's doing it over Ethernet, that's right. Well, it's doing it over gigabit Ethernet, so it's not as fast as it could be. I have a faster way, so it's running at about half speed. But anyway, over just regular gigabit Ethernet, this is how quickly it can drop. So in about 1 minute, we will have all that software installed. 1.5 minutes total. If I'd have thought about it, I would have used my 2.5 gigabit card, but honestly, it would take longer to switch over to that than it would just to do this, so not saving time by doing it the faster way. I could go ahead and cut these open for the other computers while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so we're just waiting right now. And once it's done, we'll reboot and Windows will work. And then you get to see me not use a mouse to do anything. I trust everybody can hear and see okay. If you ever cannot, please let me know. Yeah, error scanning partitions. I wonder why. Was there a problem? You don't like it. Okay, I know what that is. I know exactly what that is. Yep, it's because it updated the packages from over the... Damn it. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. I told you it needed updating. Probably should have fixed that. Now, I just need you to maximize. Not max. Maximize. There you go. That'll maximize the last partition. And I need to update this flash drive. It has an old C library, so... yeah. Anyway, so that added another minute. Whatever. The bottom line is, in less than 3 minutes, I've installed Windows 10 and about 12 programs and a few drivers that are nice to have around. But that damn red speckle stuff is still there. But it's only there right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is a hardware problem or not. It's not there as bad when it's first turned on. I would not be surprised if there's some kind of hardware problem. We'll find out. I noticed that it trails, too. Look, and see, it's gone now. What am I supposed to do, man? Hey, we don't care. What don't you care about? Let me know what you don't care about so that I can make sure that I don't offend you. Tell me, I want to know. We don't care. What don't you care about? There's a 30-second delay between when I say something and when you hear it. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a computer. And if I just sit around... Oh, actually, you know what? This thing is brand new. There's a good chance the Intel drivers don't actually work. Hang on. Yeah, there's a good chance the network drivers don't work. Because the hardware is probably newer than the drivers. So, let's plug in the 2.5 gigabit card and deal with it. See, now that elaboration made all the difference in the world. A generic "we don't care" doesn't tell me much. It just makes me think, oh, somebody's screwing around. But knowing that context makes everything different. Okay. Yep, we're on the internet. Now it can get angry with me, but install the drivers anyway. Alright. I trust that everyone can kind of sort of see. Yeah, Clippy. I miss Clippy. Where's Clippy? Okay. Let's go to a command prompt here. I actually kind of need to... I need to make that command prompt text a little more readable for you on that stream there. Yeah, oh, minimizing the command prompt is not what I should be doing, though. There we go. Okay, can you see the command prompt? Well, I'm sure you can see the command prompt. Just, anyway. Device cleanup. Great tool. Free tool. A guy named Uwe Sieber, I think, makes it. About, yeah, Uwe Sieber, uwe-sieber.de, makes the device cleanup tool. I love it. I love it. Delete unused driver packages, and it erases all the drivers that were included in my image that aren't already attached to a piece of hardware. Let's get that glare down again. I think it looks better this way. What do you think? Do you think it looks better this way? Got this real moody kind of it's like, welcome to my really bad short film. Can't wait. Okay. Oh, I can't use the keyboard. Great. Oh, there it goes. Now it's working. Nope. Do not touch my flash drive, you scummy, scummy Windows. Alright. Oh, crap. It's setting up the Razor. I knew this was going to happen. Friggin' knew it. gpedit.msc. Will you save me now? I don't know. But I don't want you setting up the friggin' Razor. Windows Update. Group Policy. I actually don't know how to do the resize handles this way. But, actually... yeah, keyboard went out again. That's fun. An abusive software company? Was that going to be like Amy's Baking Company of software? Because that sounds awesome. Imagine, if you will... yeah, I don't want to set up my fucking Razor. Fucking garbage fucking software from fucking Razor. I always end up having to install it and then throw it away. Like, manually disable it. You know what? This is a customer computer. I'm not going to do this. I can clean the Razor stuff back out later. Anyway, the Ethernet controller drivers don't appear to have... let's see what updates are doing. So, you've given me a nifty idea. What if, instead of them calling up saying that they are Microsoft tech support or whatever, what if the fake tech support agents from India and Pakistan called you up and said, I am calling from Microsoft. Your computer has a virus, and you are a fucking idiot. Kindly. Like, if they called you up and they just hurled abuse at you and didn't try to scam you, they just tried to make you feel bad for using a Microsoft product. In fact, I think that this is a business venture I could get behind. All you have to do is tell some Silicon Valley investor morons that it's the next big internet disruptor thingamajigamabob, and next thing you know, you'll have billions of dollars at your disposal to hire a bunch of outsourced people 5,000 miles across the globe to call people, say that they're Microsoft, and verbally abuse them until they use penguins. Hello, I am calling from Microsoft. I question your sexuality. I am not of the belief that you are of the type of the genders that make the thing go inside of the other thing. You are reproductively a failure. Kindly. Also, your computer has a virus. I've long said that instead of the welcome screen they introduced in Windows XP, that what I would do is have it say, just wait, you can't do anything about it, or something to that effect, or get over it. Oh, look, all the drivers installed themselves. Oh, wow, they really kind of all installed already. Where's... Wait a minute. This thing has a headphone jack. Isn't it missing the... Now, hold on a damn minute. Okay. See, this is... Okay, well, you know what? They're not going to use speakers anyway, but... I'm going to check it, just to be sure. Let's make sure that my wireless has a wireless. There's a headphone jack, I thought. No, I guess there's not a headphone jack. Are you serious? This NUC doesn't have a headphone jack. It actually only outputs audio through HDMI. Holy shit. Oh, noes. Well, it's a tax place. They're not even going to be using the sound, but I'll have to tell them the sound comes out of the jack on the back of the PC. Okay, I can do that. What else? Oh, shit. It's going to try to update the NUC firmware. Let's see. I guess I just have to kind of wait. Yeah, that figures. I can't be the only person here that whenever they see that flicker as a display driver installs and everything just goes black, I can't be the only person who has that brief moment of terror where it's just like, is it going to work? Is it screwed? Look at all these updates. This is ridiculous. Yes, please install everything. Just install, get it all out of my way. I don't have time for this. So, while I wait on the Windows 10 virus to update, what should I do? Should I put another NUC together? I could do that. I could put another NUC together right here while this one's doing God knows what. I got 3 of the damn things to put together. Why don't we do that? What do you think? Driver install. I mean, the thing is, Windows, once I plugged up the a USB Ethernet that I already had the driver installed for, it just sort of installed them all for me over the internet. So I don't have to driver install anything. It's done. It's already done. I don't have to do anything. I can be lazy, and you can't stop me. You're not my real mom. I am a petulant child, and I'd like to remain a petulant child. Thank you very much, kind sir, for the gold on Reddit, because why are you on Reddit? Ha, ha, ha. You have failed. You know, whoever designed the vinyl that goes on the top of these things is really a jerk. I hate this stuff. Protect your cherished pictures and documents. Well, as soon as I get a chance, I'm going to make that go away. Alright, this vinyl can go to hell. Okay? It can go straight to hell. Because that's where it comes from. I know that's where they mine vinyl. They mine vinyl in the depths of hell. Yeah, this one's particularly nasty. It doesn't want to come off. Okay. Here, let me give you a better view. Let's do a camera swap real quick. Boom. Oh, look. Restart now. Okay. Once all these install things stop popping, I'll be glad to hit restart now. Alright. Okay, how do I know what? How do I know that the driver's installed? Is that what you're asking me? I can show you how I know. If you really want to know how I know the drivers are installed, but I do need to know specifically because, like I said, there is a delay. I don't always see the chats right away either. So, I don't know exactly what you're asking. How do you know about? Oh, how do I know that you're not my real mother? Well, the truth is that I don't. I actually have no way of knowing with absolute certainty that you are or are not my real mother. But the beauty of being an agnostic is that I'm comfortable in acknowledging that I cannot know some things with absolute certainty. So, if you're my real mother, that's your problem. Ha! 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 I bet that mic overdrove. Yeah. One of the nice things about these NUCs is that they're so simple that it takes almost no time to actually put the things together. I mean, I feel like making any video about how to build an Intel NUC is like, it's almost a waste of your audience's time by itself, because it's like, oh, pull 4 screws, pull 1 screw for the solid state, put in the solid state and screw it down, put in the RAM, put the lid on and screw it down. Oh, you're done! That took 2 minutes! My God. What a lunatic. You're a crazy man, Charlie Brown. And that's how you put together an Intel not really difficult. Aren't you an accomplished adult? No. No, I'm not. Thank God. Okay. Well, apologies for that bout of autism. Huh. DDR4. DDR4. I'm not sure why so many computers for such a long time have come pre-installed with Dance Dance Revolution, but I'm sure that there's a good reason, and I hope that they got a really good deal on the bulk licenses. Anyway, or that they pirated it, all of it. This thing's still installing something? Yep. See, if I hit restart now, you know what's going to happen? It's going to pop the screen that says it's restarting, but then it's just going to do the same thing. Just sit here. Now, I don't know if some of you weren't here at the start of the stream. You may not remember, since you didn't hear it. I guess that's logical. the plan is to get one nuke together and get it set up, get the drivers, get everything right. Then clone that nuke's drives, or that nuke's hard drive, over to the other two, so that I don't have to do the image drop and wait on the drivers and all this other stuff, all these things that I've typed and so on, so that I don't have to do it over and over. One and done, as they say. Are you seriously taking this long to install an update? This computer is plenty fast, and yet it's taking this long to install this stupid update. Thanks, Windows. Thanks so much. Clonezilla? No. All of the stuff I use is software I wrote myself in-house. But, actually, for cloning, I don't even use software. I type a few Linux commands. So, you're going to see it done the hard way. You're going to see it done the hard way over a network connection, most likely. Although, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually have a USB. I have a USB to NVMe PCI Express adapter that I could use instead, and that's probably the best way to do it. Nah. See, the beauty of doing it my own way instead of using cloning software is that cloning software doesn't know anything about, like, it sees what I've got on the disk and whatever, and tries to guess what I'm trying to do, but in the end, I know exactly what's going on. I know what I want done and how I want it done. It will probably take as long for me to boot up whatever clone image thing and tell it what I want and wait for it to figure everything out and do it. It would probably take longer to do that than it would to just do the stuff by hand myself. See, I can do it over a network connection, but I have a USB 3 to NVMe adapter, which was a very good purchase. I think I got it on Amazon. I worry about buying USB storage anything on eBay, so I don't tend to buy those things on eBay. Anyway. So while I'm waiting on the one nuke to do all this software installation garbage, you probably have noticed I've got this other one. I've gotten one built. I've got another one on the way to being built. It's not done, but like, I'm one NVMe drive. One NVMe drive and one RAM stick away from having 3 assembled. So that will mean no more assembly. That will mean this is over. This part anyway, and we can move on to cloning the one reference machine to the others. Speaking of which, let me run Firefox real fast just so it can... There we go. Just so that it can... Oh, crap, it's that version. Update, please. If I go ahead and do things like the Firefox and extension updates on this machine, then that effort gets duplicated to the other 2 machines. So because I have 3 identical computers, I'm effectively tripling my effort by making one reference machine. I'm not tripling my effort, but almost. It's like doing it at 3 times the speed, almost. Minus what the overhead of setting up the clone process. So I get 3 machines done in the time of probably about 1.1 or 1.2 using imaging. So imaging and cloning and all that. Normally, if someone starts out doing PC repair, when they need to do 3 machines, what they'll do is, if they've got the hardware, they will set up the 3 machines on, monitor, keyboard, mouse, whatever, side by side. Take an install medium and run to each one or whatever and run the installer and try to get them all to do the things in parallel. But the problem with that is it takes a lot longer to install from an install disk than it does to drop an image. And an image is either somewhat or very system specific, typically. But an install, just a generic install, kind of isn't. It might have tailored some drivers for you, but it's not going to have the rest of the drivers. It's not going to have the software set up the way you want for that system. So if you have multiple identical systems that need to be set up identically, if you set one up and set it up right, and then just clone it to all the others, voila. You know, other than some possible licensing issues with identical serial numbers and such, that's it. You have done all the work on one, but you didn't have to do it on the others. You didn't use the network bandwidth to download updates or whatever. Boom, Firefox is done. And this says pending restart now, so let's do it. No, you can restart now. Okay. So I have 2 NUCs here that are waiting to receive the magic that's in this one. And honestly, at this point, we just have to wait on these updates to finish. Painful. Okay. So I'm looking at my computer for something else right now. Give me just a second while I'm waiting on that to restart. Oh, it's already restarting? Cool. When's that firmware update going through? Okay. You can do something now. I see the power light. What are you doing? God, I hate waiting. I don't know that it's doing anything, actually. Not that I can tell, but... I have had problems with some NUCs that don't want to shut down right off. Alright, let's just yank the power. Oh, you know, it just occurred to me. I wonder if my power brick is just a crappy power brick. And that's why the NUC is not playing nice. That's entirely possible. Man, I really want to know what the deal is with that red crap. It wouldn't surprise me if it had something to do with my power brick, though. God almighty. It's consistently there, too. That's what drives me nuts, is like, it's not going anywhere. I wonder if this is a problem that other people have had. Nope, I don't know. But I didn't see anything, so whatever. Alright. Yeah, I took that picture, by the way. Okay. So it did updates. Actually, let's try again just to make sure that it did all the updates. I want them to be over with. Oh, it can run Windows 11? Well, how about no? How about you don't run Windows 11? No, we don't want that update. Jesus. No, 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 no. No, we don't want help either. Check for updates. Don't piss me off, though. Updates. Yeah, okay. Now I can say no to Windows 11. That's the most important part. Making it so your reference machine says no to Windows 11. Oh, it just occurred to me. You can't see the damn screen. There you go. Yeah, there's no more updates. So, if there are no more updates, let's do this real quick. Let me actually make the text even bigger so that you can see it better. Let me know if you can see this text okay, because it's off to the side and skewed by the barrel distortion. So here's what we're going to run. You know, you can run Clean Manager, Clean MGR, which gives you disk cleanup, and it'll do a Windows Update cleanup, but it won't do the most thorough one that you can do. And in this case, it's not even offering to, so I'll just tell it to delete all the stuff under disk cleanup, and that'll be all fine and great. But here's what we really want to do. dism/online/cleanup-image/start component NUC cleanup/reset base. What this does is the same thing that disk cleanup does when you pick Windows Update cleanup, but it also eliminates update uninstallers for currently installed updates, which means you can't roll back the updates. But the good side of that is that it erases all of the uninstall garbage for those updates, which means that it doesn't take up any disk space anymore. So while you can't roll back, it's basically the equivalent of when you, in the XP days, if you went into the Windows folder and deleted all the $NT uninstall whatever folders that were hidden. Let's see. That'll be fun. Man, I hate waiting on this stuff, but it usually is worth it in the end, because then you're not cloning all that crap. It's quiet chat. Is everything okay, chat? Are you all still there? It's funny, I'm in my own live chat and I don't see the poll showing up. That's weird. That's real weird. Oh, man. It's been a long time since I had to do that, too. Okay. Yep, disk cleanup's done. It vanished. DISM is done. Now, the last step, defrag. Now, why are you going to defrag a solid-state drive? Well, because I'm not. C:/L, which means trim, U, and V. V means verbose. I don't remember what U does, but defrag C:/L/U/V. Which it won't do because I probably need to check the disk because I dropped an image and I never did that. That was dumb. Run the disk check, see if it's angry. Hey, MH08. Oh, yep. Yep, it needs a disk check, that's why. Yep, so let's do a disk check. By the way, this key combination that I'm doing to do this restart, Windows X, U, R. I don't know how many of you have noticed, but I haven't used a mouse the entire time. I don't even have one hooked up to the computer. Man, that's annoying. That is really annoying. That is really, really annoying, but if that's all it does and it doesn't actually have a problem, I don't care. Seriously. If it does that, but it isn't actually causing an issue, and I'm going to run some tests. The reboot command, let me just type it. Okay, now I can do that trim. Defrag C:/L/U/V, and it'll retrim all the empty space. And that's it. Okay. Shut down. Shut down. And I have to do, when I shut it down, I have to hold Shift and hit U. Because if you hold Shift while you do shutdown, it does a cold shutdown. It does a full shutdown. It doesn't do the hybrid hibernation crap, which is what you, when you do the Windows 8 or higher shutdown, it saves information in the hibernation file so that it can do fast restart. The problem is that's how weird problems persist across reboots. Restart throws that information away, but shutdown does not. Okay, so let's get you back onto the main camera and get some of the lights back up here. Alright, get a little bit of light, because now we have to do something a little bit different. This, my friends, this is a very Chinese NVMe to USB adapter. New, made in China. And it is super duper handy. This bad boy right here, it consists of an M2 slot there. It has a screw here. I don't know how you would relocate it to these, but I don't care because 2280 is by far the most common size. So what I'm going to do, put this aside, take this NUC loose completely. All right, now what we need to do is get the SSD back out of this one, because we're going to use it as the basis for the other two. And I'm going to do a clone by hand. So, oh crap, you know, it just occurred to me I actually need to update this drive too. No, you know what? I'll just do the glibc thing myself. I don't have to do that. Okay. The beauty of this method is that since I have a USB to NVMe adapter, I only have to pull the drive from the one, and I don't have to pull drives from the other. So for example, if I had a computer with 2 NVMe slots, I could use it, but I'd have to reboot every time. But I don't have to do that this way. Instead, what I'm going to do is take my adapter here, pop that screw out of it, and I trust you can all kind of see what's going on, because it is a little dark. I didn't turn that overhead light back on yet. Let me know if you can't see what I'm doing, but I think you can see what I'm doing. Pretty sure you can see what I'm doing. Alright, now we have a USB NVMe drive. This is the NUC we took it from. Let's take this and power USB network and HDMI. Okay. And we need the blue flash drive to boot from. I will feel a lot better if this one exhibits the same red artifacts as the other. This tiny screw goes with this one. I don't want to lose it. Actually, that's a good place to lose it. Let's put it over here. Yeah, fence it in. Okay, NUC number 2. Thanks for sticking with me. I noticed I lost a few viewers. Maybe they got bored. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be bored. I'd be real friggin' bored. Alright, let's put that back there. Come on. Talk to me. Nuke me, baby. Or don't, you know. That's fine too, I guess. Oh, it's coming up, I think. Yeah, and the same weird noise. Same noise. Okay. Alright. So, I'm pretty sure it's not a problem with the nukes. I'm pretty sure it's some kind of EMI, an environmental problem of some sort. Thus, I am absolutely not worried about it. F10, save and exit. Good. Now, F8, I think, was the boot menu. So we're making good progress. F8, F8, F8. Hurry the frig up. There you go. Come on. See, and now there are no speckles. There's tiny dusting of them. Wait a minute. That's not what I meant to do. Why did it go into the setup program? Maybe F10 is the boot menu. And I just happened to have hit both last time. I'm going to do F10. I'm pretty sure Intel... Yeah, F10 is the boot menu. That is correct. Okay. Partition 1. No. Let's do this thing, man. Let's do this thing. I hope you all are entertained. I hope this is enjoyable. If it's not, send all complaints to Dev Null. Dev Null is a fantastic complaint acquisition and processing facility. And if you ever have any need to handle complaints, I highly recommend Dev Null for all of your complaint handling needs. There we go. And that solves that problem. Okay. Alright. Make sure that the flash drive's not mounted. It's not. I'm going to pull it. Okay. Now, here's the... bring in some of that secret sauce. Ready? So, here's our NVMe drive. We're going to plug it into the front of the NUC. Ooh, why is there smoke coming out? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It was a joke. I'm kidding. Promise. Okay. Now, let's look at our file systems. NVMe ON1. Oh, that's interesting. The Ethernet adapter isn't playing very nice with it, is it? Let's Let's pull this Ethernet adapter. It's not playing nice with Linux, so for now we'll just pull it. The flash drive doesn't have the kernel that plays nice with these Ethernet cards, so I need to fix the network thing. Yeah, this might have been a bit of a boo-boo. Anyway, I think it's not going to see it, so yeah, we're going to need to... Alright, I'm going to update this flash drive real fast. Sorry, it'll only take a minute. Please have a little patience. Okay, I got it. And I need to get one more thing real fast because I'm picky. I don't want to have the wrong thing here. Okay, alright, that should be it. Flash drive's up to date. Come on. Okay. So, here's what we're going to have to do. I need a newer kernel for it to play nice, so that's what we're going to do. Sorry, it took a minute. No, LS mod won't help because I compiled this kernel with most drivers as non-modular. Most of the drivers in the kernel are not modules. They can't be removed or added. So no, the problem was that kernel in that version of the software. Oh look, the stars are there now. That's fun. The kernel in that version of the software was a little older, and the problem with it is that at some point in the Linux kernel they added native support for 2.5 gigabit Realtek chips. The problem is that they didn't have it back then. It sees it as a USB generic CDC Ethernet adapter, and it goes haywire. It doesn't work very well that way. So let's do mod probe i915 so that starry crap goes away. Alright, I trust you can see that fairly well. It's not perfect, I know, but I trust you can see it fairly well. Anywho, let's get the blue drive out. Let's get the NVMe not blue drive in. See what happens. I see UAS. It says UAS. Wrong one. But I wonder. I didn't do that, did I? Ah, crap. Okay. It may not like it. I don't know. It may actually not like it. Read capacity failed. So is this not going to work? I think this might not work. Yeah, it doesn't seem to like this SSD. That's kind of stupid. Try another port. See if I get any difference. I doubt it, but it's worth at least trying another port. Because if not... Spinning up disk. It's an SSD, you dick. Alright. So the answer apparently is no. This is not going to play nice with this particular SSD. I mean, I don't expect it to be 100% compatible with every SSD on the market. It's worked with several that I've tried before. There have been a couple that it didn't. So, you know, it's hit or miss. It's a good product when it works. So I'm going to have to fall back on the much more complicated way that I think I was talking about before. Pain in the ass. Since that didn't work, we'll just put it away, put the nuke back together, and hook it up somewhere else. I might actually need a minute for that. Yeah, this sucks. No, it's not going to help booting with it in a different port. The kernel message log, if you can read it on the screen right now, is indicating that... Oh, hey, there you go. Yeah, the kernel message log is indicating that the problem is that it's just not talking to the SSD properly. So booting it with a different port or whatever is actually not going to help. It's not going to change anything at all. So I'm not going to waste any more effort on that because I could spend a lot of time trying to get that to work when it's apparent that it's not going to. And I've had that device not play nice before. So we're not gonna do that. Adjusting the camera for the display can be very tricky because the histogram shows that it's way underexposed, but the display's black. So of course it's way underexposed because it's supposed to be. Anyway, one of the cool things about these nukes is that you actually kind of can hand tighten these screws to some extent. I mean, not entirely, but to some extent. So what I'm going to have to do is plug the nuke up somewhere else and get it into the service system and probably remote control it from the other nuke, which is going to be really annoying. So you guys are probably going to see me do some interesting things tonight that I didn't want to do, but I don't have much of a choice now, do I? I think I'm going to have to hook the nuke up to my other console on the opposite side of the room, get it into the service system, and then secure shell into it. And then you're going to see some real fur fly. I will be able to control both computers from the one display here, so you will get to see me do the wildest things tonight. I hope that you are ready for this stream to get really friggin' technical and weird. Because, baby, it is going there. It is so going there. But I am actually going to need a few minutes to walk across the room and set this up. So I will ask that you guys be patient. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves while I get this set up. It's going to be fun. I need a break anyway, so give me a sec. Alright, buddy. Let's get going. Don't boot to Windows. For the love of God, don't boot to Windows. I got no red fuzzies over here. Yeah, this is coming up. Good. No red fuzzies. It's definitely just a cable or something. Okay. You are number 103. 103. We need to remember number 103. Which is why I typed it in the chat. All right. Here's where things start to get weird, guys. Okay, this is the other NUC. We do FS info on that NUC. We can see it has the flash drive and the NTFS stuff, blah, blah, blah. So, here, for those of you who remain, if you've wanted to see some pretty weird stuff that's really interesting, you are now in the right place. Let me get you to where you can see commands that I type better. Let me adjust this tripod a bit so that I can pull it a little bit further back and get it over here so you can actually see what I'm typing. Yep. All right. Is that legible to you? Let me know. In fact, I'm going to do a quick focus test here. That's better. Okay. Can you see that okay? Good. All right. Here we go. Here comes the fun, friends. Ironically, I actually just noticed my stream was lagging behind pretty horribly on my phone, so I haven't been able to follow my own self. So here's what we're going to do. On this screen, this is Terminal 2, I have, this is the other computer, NUC. The NUC is on number 103, this one's on 220. So I secure shelled into it using the fancy-pantsy back door that, you know, drop bear. And what we're going to do is copy the drive's contents without the empty space over the gigabit Ethernet between these two computers, so that I don't have to redo all that updating crap. And we're going to do it for both NUCs. So I'm actually going to have to kill this one, boot the other one, and do the same exact thing. But before I get too far into it, I need to mount the drive on the source NUC and remove hyper file, page file, swap file, probably run my cleaner tool, which deletes a bunch of stuff. This will minimize the amount of stuff that I actually have to copy. By the way, it'll say Google Chrome even though Chrome's not on there because my cleaner tool has Edge and Brave and a whole bunch of other things that use Chromium in the list of things to clean. So, all right, yeah, and it cleaned up after Windows Update too. So we have about 20 gigs of stuff to actually copy. Let me see what's in here. Yep, system volume information. All the brace files are restore points, which didn't help reduce the size of anything. Okay, well, so be it. Take what I can get. Oh, that's weird. Why does that, why does that say, that's strange. The partition's 500 gigs, but the file system's not. Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong thing. You mount SDA2, that's the flash drive. I'm looking at the wrong thing. So 13.4 gigs, that's where we are. All right, now I've cleaned it up. Now it gets interesting. One more thing. Okay. All right, here comes the fun part. I'm going to use a tool a lot of you have never heard of. It's called SOCAT. If you've ever heard of Netcat, the tool that you can use to shovel stuff back and forth, you know, just shove raw data around on networks, SOCAT is a much better version, oh crap, of Netcat. SOCAT is amazing and wonderful and great, and I love it. The only problem is it's a little cryptic looking. But here's how this works. So if I have a blank drive here on this computer, and I have the drive with all the partitions over here on this computer, what I'm going to do is extract NVMe 0N1. I usually just type count equals 64. It assumes block size of 512. That's enough to grab the partition table. So I'll grab the first 64 blocks of the drive, pipe it to SOCAT -U for unidirectional, standard input, TCP-L : and I'll just feed it a port I can remember. So on the other end, I need to go SOCAT -U TCP : 192.168.103, and that will copy over the network to this drive, at least in theory. In practice, don't know. It's been a little pain. I do wonder why it's doing that, though. Anyway, let's see if it actually picked it up. No, it's not. Okay, something weird is going on here. Alright, we can do it the hard way. If it's going to be that way tonight, then we'll just do it the hard way. Alright, we'll just do a raw friggin' copy because they're so fast. All right. SOCAT is not for back. I did miss the one, didn't I? Anyway, I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to do it the hard way. SOCAT is not for backing up. SOCAT is for shuffling traffic across a network. Anyway, I'm just going to copy the whole thing verbatim because the drive should just be full of zeros at this point anyway. So what this new command does here, PV, this is a bunch of like averages and current rate and blah, 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 just some fancy display stuff. Input from the first NVMe drive, LZOP compress it as fast as possible. SOCAT, unidirectional, standard input, and then output to a listening port, TCP listen 6666. Flip over here to the other computer, this one, this actual NUC here. Unidirectional, and it does the connection, and then outputs what it gets from that connection to LZOP decompress to console, and that goes straight to the disk. And the reason I'm using LZOP is because we're going to be copying a lot of empty space, and so I'll just zero it. And so here you go. This, and then this, and now I can see the progress over here. It's amazing how one typo can really fuck up your day, isn't it? But anyway, the beauty of this is that since the drive is new and it's going to have a bunch of empty space anyway, which will just return zeros, once it hits streaks of zeros, it's going to copy like wildfire. The PV command is pipe viewer. It's basically cat with a progress bar. It has fancy options, but PV is really just pipe viewer, and that's all you need to know. It gives me a progress bar where otherwise I wouldn't have one. So I can see how fast it's moving. Once it gets to, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, 13 gigabytes, it's going to start flying. Because these drives can detect that you're trying to write a bunch of zeros to them. And yeah, you see the jumps. If you see jumps in speed, 111 there is the maximum speed you can crank over gigabit Ethernet with the overhead and all that being pulled out. So when you see 111, it's copying basically data that's really hard to compress, and it can't copy it faster than gigabit rate. If you see it go below 111, it's because a drive on one end or the other, something is not quite keeping up. If you see it go way above 111, then anything above 111 is an advantage given by the compression. And when you see it copying at like 756 megs a second, it's because it's copying zeros. It's copying nothing. I don't know that I want to wait for it. It's still going to take a while, so maybe we stop this since we know that I made a mistake. Let's gdisk, dev NVMe, 0 and 1. I don't have to copy partition 1 now. Okay, the partition table's copied. Partition 1 will already be copied, so I don't have to do that. So now I can skip directly to NTFS clone. So let's do that. NTFS clone, I need to look at the output there. And SOCAT, TCP. Actually, I can reuse this command here. We're going to use LZOP again. But this time we're going to NTFS clone there. Okay, so I don't do this very often, but what we're going to do is have NTFS clone output to its special image file format, and that's streamable over the network to another NTFS clone that accepts it as input. So what we're going to do is output to standard out, and I always like to force it, but let's see, output to standard out, save image, and then dev NVMe 0 and 1p3, and pipe SOCAT unit TCP L6666 should do it. Saving NTFS to image. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, and then we need to output to dev NVMe. I'm going to use a capital O just to be fun. 0 and 1p3 dash R dash boom. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't LZOP it, so I'm dumb. lzop-1. There we go. And I didn't reuse address, so I have to change it. Does anybody need any explanation of what's going on here, or do you pretty much know what I'm doing? Use the clone thing to make an image file or data stream, compress it, send it over the network to the other computer, but the other computer initiates the connection. Then on the other computer, initiate the connection, output what you get from it, decompress it, use the clone tool to dump it to the hard drive. So are we all clear on that? I just want to make sure that everybody knows what I'm doing here. I'm going to go ahead and do it. So on the computer that we're pulling from, it's going to grab and listen. On the computer we're pushing to, it's going to connect and pull. Restoring NTFS from image. Oh wow, this is taking so long. My God. I mean, 13 gigabytes does not take that long to copy in the first place. And because of the mistakes that I made, obviously, I would have, I don't know that I've saved as much time as I had intended, but given how long that Windows update took, yeah, I'm still going to save time. Even with the mistakes, I'm going to save time. And that's the thing, is if you have something like this that is not a common thing that you do, but you can make it happen faster, you still save time. So why not? Why not do it? As long as you can save that time, there's no reason not to go this optimal route. Sometimes optimizations don't make sense. Like if you have something that'll save you a few seconds, but you spend 10 seconds or 20 seconds or whatever setting it up, then you haven't saved time. You spent more time. We need to do this on the other computer too. Let me go get the flash drive. Man, that drive got kind of hot. Yeah, you could, well, here's the thing. Okay, you said you got a duplicator to save time, and I can understand that if you're doing it in big bulk. But what I'm doing is taking a niche image that's meant for really one type of system that I have 3 of, and I'm trying to copy it to 2 more. Now, if I used a duplicator, I have to assume that a duplicator is going to duplicate all of the stuff, including the empty space. So if I'm using NTFS clone to read the stuff, then it's only reading where there's actual data that's marked as, you know, data that the file system actually needs. Otherwise, it doesn't copy it. So it won't copy any empty space. I don't know anything about your duplicator. I don't know if it has a trick up its sleeve where it can see that an extent of data is trimmed or something and not copy it. But if you have a 500 gigabyte, okay, it's done. If you have a 500 gigabyte drive, just as an example, and you have something that can just read one and then copy it to like 20 at once. Well, if you're copying, say, 30 gigabytes of actual data, then writing 500 gigabytes of data to each drive, even if it's in parallel, you know, how many drives did I say? Anyway, just assuming you had a bunch of drives, it may still not go faster. Let me do a little math real quick. Oh no. My calculator doesn't work. Windows 10 sucks. Have I mentioned that Windows 10 sucks? I don't feel like I've mentioned that. I mean, it's hard to argue with 200 gigs in 6 minutes. Just straight up. I assume that you were using fast drives too, The drives that I have here are cheap drives. They're not fast drives. There's not much fast about them. They're not slow, but I mean, you can see they don't have a heatsink. We're not exactly talking Samsung Evo 980 or whatever here. So this nuke is taking forever to post. Probably just to spite me. You know, it just occurred to me, I think I've not ever actually turned this one on. I think I might have to deal with secure boot first. Yep. Because I'm pretty sure this one was never turned on. Yeah, there's the grainy stuff, which doesn't show the first time for some reason. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Alright, yeah. No secure boot, thanks. Oh, WSN750SE. Aren't those pretty darn fast, though? I mean, I seem to recall that the SN750s being really fast drives. Like, I guess my point is, it's cool if your drive can write at 5 gigabytes a second. You know, it's going to go a lot faster than a drive that can sustain more like 2 or 1. And I know that the cheaper drives, like, I don't know about these. I do try to pick a little bit higher than the absolute cheapest when I get NVMe. But, I mean, if they have specs on here, it's so small I can't read it. But, yeah. Pretty sure those WD drives are fast, though. Let's get the video driver installed. Let's get set the stage. Okay. Let's get that flash drive out so I can't hose it. All right, let's do it again. Yeah. See, and if you're doing sequential writes, it's a hell of a lot faster than random. That's the other thing. And if they're new drives, then they're completely empty. They're trimmed already, so yeah. There we go. Okay. We're ready to go. 103, I believe, is our computer. All right, verify. Yep. Verify. Yep. Okay. Okay. I bet that's what happened last time. Okay. G-disk. Right. So that it puts the alternate partition table in place. And we should now have the same partition map. We do. And EFI system is the same deal. We're just going to PV that out. NVMe ON1 and same deal here. P1. Give me the P1. There we go. Okay. We're going to copy partition 1 the same way. And that instant copy. Then all right, NTFS clone, and this is where we need to LZOP-1, and then on this one, LZOP decompress, and NTFS clone, output dev NVMe in 1 P3. That one needs to be P3 as well, and restore from standard out. Okay. All right. Okay. NTFS clone. Output to standard output. Save to the special NTFS clone image format. We're going to pull from partition 3 of the SSD. Compress it. Throw it over the network. Listen for the other computer. Other computer. Connect. Push what it gets to standard out. Decompress it. Unclone it to partition 3. Boom. Boom. And now we just wait. It just occurred to me I probably should have booted this thing to make sure that I didn't screw any of it up. I'll test them both before we're done. I'm going to go ahead and turn this light on. It's just a little dark for me. I'm trying to minimize the glare on the screen, but I need to be able to see what I'm doing at least. Are we having fun yet? I'll tell you why I would not get an NVMe duplicator. I don't need to do that many installs or clones in the first place. This is a rare thing for me. It's very rare that I actually have to clone a drive. I encourage most of my customers to get completely clean installs because often I'm cloning something that has problems and I don't want to clone the problems. So yeah, let's do this one is the remote, which we'll just power off. And this one is this one, which we'll reboot and see if it catches on fire. But they all should have the same thing on them at this point. Now the only thing I need to do is rename them. Yeah, I hope that you are all enjoying or learning from this at least a little bit. And here we are. It's amazing. At this point, the only thing I really have to do is handle the unique aspects of each computer. So I'll have to do the serial number for Windows, and I'll have to rename each computer to something other than Win 10 Pro PC, because I always name them. Oh, well, maybe I didn't. Okay, I don't care. It doesn't really matter. I'll rename them to something else. Don't know what yet. They don't even have to have any special names for these people. They just need them to not have the same name. One will be the server. I'll bless it as such, but they're all the same computer. So for now, this one's done. I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to plug up the other one here just to boot it up and test it, make sure that it works. And that'll be the end of all this NUC stuff. I'm going to go ahead and turn the light on as well. It leaves a nasty glare, I know, but well, what do you want from me? Okay. Bunch of cute little cubes lying around here now. I'll probably also turn Secure Boot on. If we're going to use Windows, it might as well have Secure Boot turned on. And the thing is, I don't see Secure Boot as an enemy unless I don't have control over it. As long as I can turn it off, I don't care. I'm great. I love it if I can turn it off. Yeah, it is a bright light, isn't it? But anyway, that's the way it has to be. Okay, this computer's up. It's working. So we got 3 identical nukes. We're going to shut her down, and that's the end of it. That's the end of all this nuking that we've got going on. Oh, man, that was annoying. How long has this been running? What's the timer say? Well, doesn't say over there. This is tiny text. What do you say? 2 hours and 10 minutes. Been running for 2 hours and 10 minutes. A little longer than I thought it would. Well, hell. But, yeah. Alright. So, all that's done. I am happy. I got to show all of you some stuff that I don't generally do. I don't do that kind of cloning stuff very often at all. You can kind of see why, and there's a lot of expert knowledge that goes into it as well. It can be very frustrating. Anyway, these things really are cool. I like these computers. I don't like that, like, you can't upgrade the CPU. There's no PCI slot or anything. But I generally like these computers for applications where you just need a small, low-power, decent performance working machine. I have used these computers to power digital whiteboards. That's one of the biggest uses. There's a guy in town who sells those really large digital whiteboard displays that have like special drawing markers and whatnot. I think Sharp makes some of them, but he needs computers to go with them. So he has me build these nukes, and then he just straps them to the back, and it just goes with the machine like that. That's it. This thing is so small, even like compared to just your average monitor. It's so tiny, and it comes with the bracket to mount it. You really have no excuse for not just mounting it to the back of the thing and being done with it. Anyway, I'm glad that I could share that with you, especially the wonky cloning thing over the network. It's nice to have tools like that in your toolbox. No, there is no way to upgrade the CPU. There is no way to upgrade the CPU on most laptops as well. The vast majority of laptops that are put out today, possibly all of them, but I can't ever say that for sure, and for the past decade really, don't have sockets for CPUs. They are attached to the board with a ball grid array. They are directly attached, soldered straight to the board. You can never replace them. You can't replace the chips in this because this is basically a laptop. I mean, I know it doesn't look like a laptop, but the truth is this has a laptop CPU in it. It just doesn't have the display and keyboard and all that built into it. So it's a laptop CPU. It's basically a system on chip with desktop-style ports and connections. And that's actually pretty common. I have a desktop over there somewhere that has a laptop AMD CPU in it. It's got a low-power chip. It's very small. It's actually powered by an external AC adapter because it's using a laptop chip to run everything, because laptop chips are powerful enough that most people don't need anything else. Yes, it is true that you can't upgrade the CPU, but the truth is, if you're buying this, you probably don't need to anyway. Honestly, dude, this is an i3 10th gen laptop chip. You're not going to use it to crush, 4K HEVC handbrake encodes or anything. But at the same time, you can actually, this is powerful enough to play older games on. If I put Portal 2 on this computer with just the Intel CPU graphics, the low-power laptop CPU graphics, it would run great. It's not, underpowered or anything. These are actually pretty great little computers. Even the i3s. Even the Pentium and Celeron ones, if you know what you're getting into. So, it's just, no, you can't upgrade the chip, but you buy that knowing that. And if you get anything in a small form factor like this, you're going to have to expect compromises like that. I mean, if they add a socket, it gets fatter. You know, the more crap that they have that you can upgrade, the fatter it gets. But you can't upgrade the CPU, but think about this. It has 2 memory slots. You can slam 32 gigs in this thing if you want to. It has an M2 slot. It has a SATA port. So if I wanted to, I could go out and get a 2 terabyte M2 and a 2 terabyte SATA 2.5 and throw it in here. I could get 32 gigs of RAM. You know, I could rock 4 terabytes of solid state storage if that's really what I wanted to do. You can't do that with a lot of laptops now. If they're the smaller kind, they're designed to just have the M2. You know, a lot of them don't even come with a hard drive bay or a hard drive cable anymore. So this thing is actually quite capable despite that one limitation. And honestly, this thing, $350 without the RAM or the M2 drive. But, you know, $100 extra and I got 16 gigs of RAM and a 500 gig M2 drive in it, right? So that's $450 right there. Now think about what you get if you buy like a Mac Mini, okay? You might get a more powerful CPU, but like you can't upgrade anything. All the Macs, you can't upgrade anything. Especially the M1 Macs. It's just like they don't want you upgrading anything. It's all soldered to the board. Permanent storage and all that. So, yeah. Yeah, the laptop CPUs not being upgradable is a pain in the ass. But I understand why they do it. It is very difficult to not make the laptop chunky. CPU sockets in laptops, even the really nice ones, they still do actually add quite a bit of thickness, and that thickness could be better used for heat sinking. So yeah, I get it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut this because this has gone on longer than I thought it would, and I've got other stuff I need to get to tonight, but thanks everyone for coming out and watching. I will try to do more streaming, and I do have some videos in the queue. One of my problems right now is I'm so covered up in computer work, I'm just drowning in this crap. I mean, I'm building, I built these 3 NUCs tonight. I still have to attach them to the monitors, take them out there, and integrate them. And then I've got those other 2, if you were on the stream earlier today, I've got those other 2 bench builds that I ordered the wrong cases for. I didn't realize I ordered micro ATX cases and regular ATX boards. It's actually a common mistake that I make. So I have to go out tomorrow night and grab some full ATX cases for them. They're not going to care. They're probably going to get better cases for it. And then we're going to have a build stream, probably maybe Wednesday night. We might do a build stream because, well, what else do I have to do? Okay, I'm going to stop chit-chattering. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night, and I shall catch you on the flip side.